Okay, so now we're recording, so I just want to do a couple different things here, just for people that are looking for this. So off the internet web page, we saw the login for the call manager. And directly underneath the icon for the call manager, we have the format for the login because it is different. It's your personal BID or your personal number, so 248, your phone number, at go.invoip.com. And it will be the same password that you use for all INVOIP products, for the checking your voicemails, using the call manager, or if you're using the soft phone, the password's always the same. Now, we've told people that, it's just for keeping it simple, that they should probably make this password the same as their complex Windows password because it now does require an 8-character password, letters, numbers, case, and the symbol. So that's why we're having everybody use the ultra-complex passwords. So once you're in, then, and this is functional like it is now, and we went into agents, and we basically activated so we could see the call status of the agents in real time. So from left to right, we have the console, and it's showing that there's one active call, and that person's been in there for 6 minutes and 57, 58, 7 minutes, in the queue. So we see there's, one person in there. On the far right side of it, we should show, or that must be a call that's actually, that's an active call. So that's a call that's actively somebody's speaking to right now. Because if we look on the far right side of it where we see the OCCMHA Access Call Center, we see 0 of 10. We have a maximum capacity that we set for 10, so that no more than 10 could be backed up in queue. And right now there's 0 of 10. So I'm going to just make a number come up. I'm going to do a test. I'm going to dial in on my cell phone just so I can see the status in the queue change.
Okay.
1 second. So I'm dialing into the 248-464-6363.
Okay, and it popped up.
And so then there's me. I'm showing up over there on the call queue, so you can see that, there's 1 of 10, and there's me on the right-hand side. I'm in queue, and I'm listening to the message. And then as soon as somebody grabs, becomes available, I'll drop through, and one of the agents will pick up. So I'm still in hold. Oh, now I'm being transferred. Hi, Catherine, this is Peter. I'm doing a test right now with Stacy on the line, so thanks. Bye. All right, so that's how it pretty much went. So the call came in, I saw it on the right in the queue. There was one in the queue. As soon as an operator became available, it squeezed the call through, and I got transferred to the agent on the other side. And so that's basically showing me some, real-time information. Now, some of the other cool things that the staff are able to do that's really handy is, see where it says search contacts? Go up in there and type in the search contacts in the middle window, type in Peter.
Okay.
And just hit enter. It automatically tied into the corporate company directory, so anytime you type in somebody's name there, you're able to get their information and have it come up. And see if you click on my name, if you're given any options. So you have call or transfer. So you could call me, and sit there and say, hey, I've got this customer on the line and they're really difficult, and I'm going to escalate the call up to you. And then, you would be talking to me, and then you could actually do the transfer and transfer them. So you could call ahead first, or you could just do I'm going to, toss this one to someone else because it's for someone else, so you can do a transfer. So this is kind of handy because you don't have to have like a phone book or a bunch of pages next to you to fumble through when you want to transfer a call to somebody within the company. Now go down on these contacts in the middle, go down and expand the one for personal contacts. Don't edit, just expand.
Oh, oops, sorry.
All right, there aren't any in here, but let's go ahead and add one. So click on the pencil.
Mm-hmm.
And let's add like an external one. So say add, click on the plus button. And do you know Common Ground Sanctuary's crisis line number by chance?
No, not off the top of my head.
Well, let's just make one up then. Let's just sit there and say put in Peter's cell just for a test.
Okay.
And then put in the number 248-978-7475.
Okay. Do I need the dashes or no?
No, that's it.
Does it enter? Okay.
Yep, and then close the window, that little window. So now that shows up there too. So what that allows them to do is build a favorites list, so that every time that they log in, so if they get a lot of calls and they're doing a referral out to Common Ground or to XYZ provider agency or some other community resource, then they can just actually click on that resource and transfer the call. Or they can actually drag and drop. They could actually take the active call that they're on from the call console and drag it over and drop it on Peter's cell, and then it'll transfer the call over. So it is nice because if you were doing this from home, you wouldn't have to have your phone list and all your contacts. So a lot of them started building their contacts that they would transfer calls to right here. And that's what that's for. Now, agents is something you and you only see because you're a call manager, so like expand agents out again. So you get to see this information on there. And then click on Stephanie Murray. Now, because you're a manager, you get to do some interesting things. Float over the buttons. Okay, so that says monitor next call, so you can actually like monitor the call and the queue and see how long the call is running through. So, you can't listen in at this particular point in time. You can change the agent status, so click on that. So what this is she's actually signed out right now, but you could sit there and make her available, which would actually then put her phone back into queue and calls would start ringing through. You could make her unavailable. You could force her into wrap up. But the most important thing that a call manager does here a lot of times is sign out. Because if they don't sign out, they're kind of ruining the statistics. Because otherwise, if they're signed in and they're active and they haven't signed out, it looks like basically calls are coming in and they haven't done anything. Their productivity numbers will, suffer. So a lot of times, people, because they have to be signed in to get a call, and they have to be signed out so that they don't get calls. And so sometimes a call manager will be like, oh, so-and-so left, but their status is showing that they're, still available. You can change it and just sign them out. So that's something as a manager you and you alone can do. You and your other managers, so Jasmine can do it. Transfer, you can transfer or you can sit there and then float over queue. Oops, following her. Just do an end over there on the left. Over the left where it says call console. Way over left. Far left window.
Stephanie Murray
is not available to take your call. Please leave a message after the tone. Press the pound key to end recording.
Okay. So, yeah, you can do calls, and things like that with the person, so you can call them directly. You guys calling me now at 9861. So anything you click on is active, and it will start making the call. So I see an incoming call from you. So that's basically everything that you would do in there. Now go into the dashboard again. Whoop, did you get disconnected? Where did you go? Okay, so looking right now in the call queue, we got one person at 49.50 seconds in queue waiting to be answered on. But let's go to the dashboard. So go ahead and click on dashboard. This is something you and only you can do as the supervisor call manager. Click on show agents.
Ooh, show agents.
To the far right.
Okay.
And now here's your active status right now of your agents right now. So yellow person, so red, those ones are all, not available at this moment. And then green, she just became available. If you just saw a couple seconds ago, she was yellow, so she was in wrap-up. So when she hangs up with the call, she automatically goes into, by default, a 1-minute wrap-up, to get ready for the next call and do whatever it is that they need to do. And so she's
now, can they extend the wrap-up time?
They can. They are actually, the default wrap-up time is 1 minute. They can change it. So we kind of set it as a default, but they can override it, or we could actually choose to, change it. However, when the people are actually logged in, their status, they get to change that. So if they're done with wrap-up and they're ready for the next call, they can just go over to the upper right-hand side there where it says ACD, and they can change their status from wrap-up to active. That's also the same thing where they would also change their status to not available, and that's also where they would, actually change it to sign out or signed out status. So they get to change that. So this screen is actually a screen that a lot of people like to use. Actually, this is kind of one of those fancy screens that some people actually put up on a big monitor in a large call center so that everybody can see what's going on, because it would show the total calls in queue and what the wait times are and things like that. So this is a real popular screen that people sometimes would look at. And it also is doing all the stats, for the people for the day that are agents. So if we add other agents like in customer services, they would, show up on this screen. And then when they're active, they would turn green and it would start doing stats on them. Go ahead and close the dashboard. All right, go into reporting.
You said reporting?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. There's a bunch of report templates that we can pull out. So go ahead and click down the template. You can see what kinds of reports that we can do. There's a ton of custom reports here that can be built. Now the one that we've been playing with, and you have to take a look at all of these different ones, but the abandoned call report, we like this one, so click on that. All right, and then it says for all call centers, well, we only have one, so that is all. And then the service level, this has to do with like service level agreements. So we were basically looking at, according to the new standard for what NCQA, I believe the standard was they have to answer the call within 30 seconds is what the standard is. So put in 30 seconds for the service level. And then on those abandoned call thresholds, let's put in 60 seconds. So let's put in 90 on the next one, and then 120. And you can do it in historical, real-time, but let's do historical. So let's say starting from 7/5, because that's the first day the call center opened. Type it in or use a calendar widget. And we'll do a daily sampling. So everything there, go ahead and run the report. Okay, so here's our call queues from 7/5 through today. We've had 1,016 calls in, and then the calls that were abandoned in the 30 seconds was 275, then 169, and then 188. So that tells when they fell out. And calls and then 210. And then calls abandoned before they listened to the message and they hung up. They just hung up. They dropped before they ever fell into queue. was 108. And then calls answered of that was 672. And then calls that were answered within the 30 seconds are 327. So this is your NCQA status report, as it would be that they would require to show this, how we're doing things. So this is just one of many reports, that you could work with and change the statistics on it, and you can print these out. Go close on that report. So just on that report window. Yep. Go back into reporting. Let's go to the templates again. And let's do an agent call detail report. And so we're going to do for all agents, and let's do it historically. Well, let's do it scheduled. I want to click on so all agents, and then for the type, do it scheduled. So what this is you can name the report, give the report a description, tell it when you want it, the run time for the report, and things like that. So you can actually schedule this report to run like every Friday at a particular period of time. And then these reports will be created for you and then output to PDF. And then you would have these, stored within the call center. So you can actually have the report set up, scheduled, run, all ready to go, and so you come in Monday and you can look at all the reports from the previous week. So once you start getting a hang of it, that would be the preferred way to do it, because then you would have like reports with historical volumes and things like that over time. You could see, are things improving, or are we getting more calls, less calls, or the drop calls getting better? So you could look at all of the different things. So scheduling allows you to set all it up and totally automate all of it. But I believe you have to come back into the system and you just look at the historical reports and you can pull out PDFs.
Wow, nice.
So let me see, let's just go to back to historical on there, so we can just run this one and see what this one looks like. And then let's go from the beginning of time for us, which was 7/5. And then the output format, change that. Let's just for fun, let's see what are the other outputs. It's probably PDF or Excel, I'm thinking. Okay, yeah, you can do Excel, so you can do some more fun with it. But let's go PDF, because that looks pretty. And then run the report.
Thank you.
Okay.
Your message has reached its maximum duration. To send your message, press 3 or hang up. To delete your current message and record a new one, press 1. To listen to your message, press 2. To mark your message as urgent, press 6. To mark your message as confidential, press 7. To cancel recording and access the voice portal, press the star key. To repeat this menu, press the pound key.
Okay. I'm sorry, I can't hear you, Peter. Let me.
Oh, go ahead and scroll down on that report. Okay, so that's going to show you every single incoming and outgoing call for your agent, and within the call center for that period of time. Yep.
Oh, wow.
So this is detailed.
Okay.
So now you have, more data than you've ever dreamed of, for looking at this different things, but you can now start to see your patterns and things like that. So I think that's it. I'm going to stop the recording and then sit there and use this as possible, for training purposes.